What is up, everybody? And welcome into Studio de Jeffrey, where we have got ourselves a Cowboys depth chart. Depth charts are always fun, depending on what you're watching on. Or I guess if you're listening, you can't see it at all, so I have to use my words a lot, huh? But we have got ourselves a Cowboys depth chart. And I got to tell you, there's a lot of lies on the depth chart. A lot of lies are being told right here on this depth chart. But that's okay. We'll go through it and talk about it. It's content. It's fun. Plus, you guys can come in here and ask whatever questions you want or any comments that you might have, and we can party. Welcome, everybody who's coming on in here. Good to see you guys live on the YouTube. Jeff Cavanaugh, Cavanaugh. My YouTube live studio is telling me to insert an ad right now and punish you guys. That doesn't seem very polite. Let's just leave that alone. Close. I guess I can hit that whenever I want. That's pretty sweet. Anyway, here's the Cowboys depth chart. Let me know if there's anything on there that you find super interesting. I'll just go through it. Wide receiver, starters, CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Tolbert, Michael Gallup. Gallup won't be ready to start the season. So in theory, the guy who's behind him on the depth chart is James Washington, who won't be ready to start the season. So in theory, behind him on the depth chart is Brandon Smith, who won't be on the team or won't be ready to, well, don't worry about that. So really, when we're looking at the wide receivers, it's CeeDee Lamb, it's Jalen Tolbert, and then Dennis Houston's been running with the ones in Michael Gallup's spot. But I would be very surprised if in a week one game, Dennis Houston was the starter in Michael Gallup's spot. I believe that would be Noah Brown. And the guy in camp who keeps having nice days on top of nice days that I believe is going to make the team and might end up playing some snaps is Simi Fehoko. Simi keeps showing up. And so that's nice. Pet Cats on the Block says Chance, interest in Roquan Smith or Lynn Bowden. Oh, turn up the volume a little bit. I got you, fellas. Let me crank that up for you. Let me crank that up a little bit for you. Let me know if we're good now. Are we good now? Somebody said, where is Dennis Houston? Dennis Houston is listed as the backup to Jalen Tolbert, even though he's running in Michael Gallup's X position. So that's the thing you're going to find out when you look at the Cowboys depth chart is that there's a lot of real made-up stuff. And I believe that depth charts are created by people. Like, I think they just have somebody in marketing or maybe somebody in sales. Like, I think they just assign a random person, whoever wants to in the company, like they have a raffle, and whoever wins gets to put out the first depth chart because a lot of it's made up. But we can go through it and talk about what's actually happening. What's a realistic timetable for Michael Gallup's return? Realistically, I would guess week 5. That's what I would guess. What's the deal with the kicker situation? Well, they brought in 4 of them, so I guess now they got 6. So they've had enough of both their kickers missing a ton of kicks. Although Liram hadn't been bad. Garabay's been bad. McGovern over Tyler Smith in the comments from King Sut. Okay, so that's one of the things. That's a lie. You can tell because in camp, Connor McGovern does take a decent amount of snaps with the ones, and then Tyler Smith comes in and runs with the ones. But when Tyler Smith is not in with the ones, do you know what Tyler Smith does? He stands over there and he watches. When Connor McGovern's not in with the ones, you know what he does? He goes with the 2s and plays right guard because he's getting ready to be the backup at both guard spots. Tyler Smith is only working at left guard because he's going to start at left guard unless they think he can't play a lick. So, Tyler Smith is going to be your left guard. Somebody said, I thought Neville Gallimore was a 3-tech. Okay, so this is something that started last year. Neville Gallimore is now built like a house, and they're trying to get their best 2 defensive tackles on the field. So on the depth chart, you're going to see right defensive tackle Osa Odigizua, left defensive tackle Neville Gallimore. That is the way that they're going to go out there and play. Those will be your 2 starting defensive tackles. The guys behind them is where it gets interesting because you have Quentin Bohanna and Carlos Watkins listed as second-teamers, but they love keeping their draft picks. John Ridgeway being listed with Tristan Hill as the 5th and 6th D tackles is interesting because I think Tristan Hill's making a push to make the team, and John Ridgeway, because of his draft pick status, has a good chance to make the team. Dorrance is your right D end. Tank is your left D end. That's accurate. Dante Fowler as a right DN behind there. Terrell Basham behind the left DN. That is what they've been doing. Sam Williams as a left DN. He's actually been playing on the right more than the left, but by the time we get this thing really going, he'll be playing all over the place. Chauncey Golston listed as a D-end is quite strange because he hadn't taken a snap there all camp. Chauncey Golston's a defensive tackle now. So, they be making some stuff up. Formula in the Super Chat. Since they didn't or won't sign a wide receiver, are we to think Michael Gallup is further along in his rehab? No, I think he's going to start the season on PUP. So, he'll miss 4 weeks. And I think it's also not too late for them to sign a wide receiver. That could still happen. They could go into camp. Because remember, there's been years where you've had camp wide receivers for the Cowboys who do really well. Lance Lenore. Dang it, what was his name? I just talked about him the other day. I loved him. John Bay Johnson. They got these dudes that show up in camp, and then you go into the preseason games and they don't show up, and they realize, oh, crap, we got to do something. Jordan Davis is going to eat Tyler Biotish alive. Our interior line is meh. I kind of agree with that. Yeah, Jordan Davis will probably push Biotish around a little bit. Don't worry about all that. It's too early to be worrying about all that. Anything else on the depth chart that's a lie? Starting punt returner, Tony Pollard. I have not seen Tony Pollard catch a single punt in camp. I have seen Jalen Tolbert catch some, but I've seen Kevontae Turpin catch the most. I will be very surprised if Kevontae Turpin doesn't make the team and isn't the starting punt and kick returner. So I would not put much stock in how the returners are listed. So there's that. Anywhere else where things are being made up? I love how they list 3 starting safeties now because they play so much of 3 starting safeties, and they list Leighton as a middle linebacker and Parsons as an outside linebacker, and they only list 2 linebackers. So they do list sort of the way that this defense will play most often. 4 defensive linemen. Parsons is that 5th guy. Then Leighton. And then you've got big nickel with 3 safeties, 3 corners, which obviously this math is off and is 12 because you can't do all of this, but all of those guys will play a good amount, which is why it is listed as such. Boop, 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 boop. Us trading a late round pick for Slayton or Mims, big receivers that are fast. I wouldn't mind that at all. Vach and Sky said they've seen TP field punts, so I don't know. Well, they've been here. They've been there the last 2 days, and I have not. So if he's done it the last 2 days, I am not going to disagree with the guys who were there. In my 10 days, he was not back there. So sweet. Shout out to Vach and Skywalker. I heard Sky asking questions at the McCarthy presser. Badass. What a beast. Love him. Anything else on the depth chart? We're going to take a peek here. Schultz. Interesting that Jake Ferguson's listed as the 2nd tight end. I know that he's a 4th-round draft pick, but he's also been hurt throughout camp. And honestly, Sean McEwen's looked pretty good. And they got 6 tight ends listed here. Ian Bunting, Jeremy Sprinkle, Peyton Hendershot. If you had to guess, maybe they'll carry 4, but Dalton Schultz, Jake Ferguson, Sean McEwen, those 3 will be on the team. And then after that, we shall see. Cooper Rush is listed ahead of Will Grier, but I think that's an actual battle as we go through preseason because Will Grier has had a pretty darn good camp. And I love that his left arm is all tatted up and his right arm isn't because he said his right arm is just for getting buckets. That's awesome. Anything else depth chart related that is relevant? Like, I don't see anybody who's listed way too low outside of where they'll actually be come cut down time. So outside of that, it looks pretty good. But again, these things are made by interns, I do believe. Jeff, did you figure out how to make somebody a mod and to pin a comment to put your Cash App and Venmo? Oh, no, I didn't. Damn it. I forgot to ask people about how to do that. I'll figure it out. I do know, though, that here in this current thing that I'm using, going to keep a fullback or one of the tight ends. I don't know, like Ryan Nall, they might actually keep. I could try it. I'll make a 53-man, maybe after the first preseason game, and see what it looks like. I'm not sure. Kilgore's here. Are you a mod? I don't know how. Oh, add moderator. Look at this. Bow. Kilgore's a moderator. Where's formula? Bow. Add moderator. My channel now has 2 moderators. You just type a message in chat, Jeff, then click on it, and there will be an option to pin it. Oh, and then people just do that for every video that they make to pin their Venmo. Let's see. There are going to be people who 100% are going to be mad about the way this video goes because some people want me to be more professional, but I just want to be me. So let me see. What is my Venmo name? There we go. Venmo for loving donations. At that. Bow. And then I can hit click and pin it. Nice. Look at that. Kilgore, Dontario Drummond breakout. So I actually need to talk to Vach and Sky because in the 10 days that I was there, Dontario Drummond, wide receiver, he was actually on PUP most of the time that I was there. And the one time that I seen him actually getting pads, my last day there, I thought Dontario Drummond looked pretty good. I thought he looked pretty smooth, pretty explosive, caught the ball easy, nice little route runner. What if we don't wear the Cash App? I think I have a Cash App. I don't use it, though. But I had to get it once because somebody wanted to send me something. I'll figure it out. That doesn't matter right now, for crying out loud. But I do like Ontario Drummond. I really do. Anything else you guys want to talk about today before I go stretch or something? Got stuff to do. September pass game is going to feel like 2018. Yeah, that would suck if it was like the Allen Hurns, Cole Beasley, rookie Michael Gallup thing all over again. That would be bad. Are almost all of our wide receivers playing in preseason, you think? Because most of them are rookies and career backups. Oh, yeah. Like CD may not play, or maybe he'll play in the third game a little bit. But, yeah, everybody else, they're going to, well, don't let me speak out of turn. Maybe they will hold people back. But, I mean, Vasher needs to play in the preseason a bunch. Tolbert needs to play. Dennis Houston needs to play. Turpin needs to play. All those dudes need to get out there and play. Our kickers have kicked 75 and 59% this camp. That's why they brought in four more. Roquan Smith trade. I understand people who would want to make a Roquan Smith trade, and like I'm not going to kill you for disagreeing with me, but I am not a big fan of, and by the way, if you guys could hit the like button for the algorithm, that'd be great. I'm not a big fan of paying linebackers who are off-ball linebackers a whole butt ton of money. It's just not for me. Parsons, obviously, you can pay whatever you want because Parsons, it turns out, is an absolute freak show that rushes the passer, that plays all over the place, that does all sorts of things. So he can have all the monies, but a guy who you would have to trade for and then give $20 million to in a salary cap league. And I love Roquan Smith. Love it. But I don't think so. Think there will be big O-line issues this year. I hope not, but if you're expecting them to be great, I think that would probably take some time because you've got a rookie left guard that's going to have a little bit of a learning curve, especially because he is moving positions. So that's going to be tough. And, well, not tough. I mean, he's showing some good stuff. But, Jonathan Garibay, by the way, is being waived. Liram's on the field right now. Your new kicker competition, Brett Maher versus Liram Haralahu. Maher versus Liram. Let's go. Garibay was freaking awful in camp. I know that was Bones Fossil's guy, but 'tis the way it goes. You don't show up and get the job done, and you get up out of there. Brett Maher. Dude, I just want to look up his old stats. I remember Brett Maher being here, and I don't remember it being very good. Brett Maher with Dallas. Yeah, his second year he made 66% of his kicks. That's not good. 20 of 30. That's not good. But then he was good with New Orleans last year. I guess that was just 18 kicks, but he made 89% of them. Maybe Maher's got it figured out. Brett Maher versus Liram. Yeah. wonder if Jack Leiter can kick. Who would be your surprise player? Oh, how do you say his last name? Hold on, I do know this. I did. Let me look it up, though, so I don't screw it up. Lirim deserves for me to say his last name. So I need to say it properly because real broadcasters will say it properly. Ahem. Lirim Hairulahu. Lirim Hairulahu. They signed Mar. How bad will Steele get smoked this year? Steele has not had a great camp. He's been okay. The thing is like people are never going to share all the highlights of an offensive lineman blocking somebody. I am looking at the depth chart with their pronunciation provided. Hairulahu. I hope Steele will be okay. He's been kind of up and down. He's played good football for the Cowboys. Hopefully he'll be good. But going up against Tank and Micah Parsons, he's definitely had moments where it hadn't been great. Mr. Jeff, question, sir. LOL. Isaac update. Alarcon? He's not going to, he works with the last team. I love the International Pathway program. I love that he is on the team, but I don't think that he is the caliber player still that's going to actually be on your 53 and contributing on the field. But I hope so. I hope he keeps getting better and better and better and better and better because I know that he's a good story. I do like Hallelujah. Lirim Hallelujah. Lirim Hallelujah. Jeff Heath can kick. Bring back the GOAT. Always bring back the GOAT. Where is Dicker the kicker? He's somewhere. Dicker the kicker. Somebody has him. Rams. And it's real weird because kicker, honestly, it's going to sound weird. Kicker doesn't matter all that much because it's basically Justin Tucker and everybody else. And pretty much everybody in the league makes like 83% of their kicks. If your guy is making 70% of his kicks, you have a really, really bad kicker. But most teams can't manage to find a bad kicker because there's so many guys that are just okay. There's Justin Tucker and a bunch of okay dudes. If you manage to not even have an okay dude, holy cow, the ineptitude that takes. That's hard. That's hard to do. You can have an open tryout and get an okay kicker. What's Forbath up to? I don't know. I think he's unemployed, but he could be as good. Yeah, he's a free agent. 34. And you know what I like about Kai Forbath? I don't think he can kick it real far. So you just wouldn't even try field goals over 50 yards. You get close enough, you kick it. You're not that close, you go for it. It's perfect. Yeah, Ian, he can't get hit from over 50? Perfect. Go for it. Unless it's 4th and 12, then punt it. Whatever. We running the damn ball till Gallup comes back? Probably, and that sucks. Did you guys see the numbers? On-off splits aren't perfect in football, but I think it was Daniel at Cowboy Stats and Graphics. He put out the splits of when Zeke is on and off the field since he's been on the Cowboys. And they run the ball and pass the ball more successfully when Zeke is not on the field throughout the course of his career. But that's the dude they're going to put out there, and they're going to hand him the ball a bunch. That's what they're going to do. So, yeah, enjoy that. Let me see. You guys get some more questions in here, and I'll get to them just a second right after. Oh, let me pay the bills. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports, contests, and events with first-to-market odds and lines. Are you out there and you're one of those guys who will actually bet on a preseason game? If so, I want to know your strategy. Do you know the depth charts? You know players 71 through 80? Find reviews, news for every league, MLB, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports information from live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head to BetOnline today or use your mobile device to join and make your first sports bet. Promo code BELIEVE50, BLEAV50 to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. Jeff, why does Kellen Moore not say, damn right, we're featuring 88? You guys been watching the videos that come out of practice? They're featuring 88. CeeDee Lamb is going to have a lot of targets. In the 2-minute drill yesterday, I know their plan was to get in field goal range and make one of those kickers make a kick, but Dak decided to throw a touchdown down the seam to CeeDee instead. CeeDee is out there getting the rock. How can they justify signing Maher? That's a good question. I don't know. I guess he was the best out of all the bums that showed up. You can justify anything when your kicker is as bad as Garibay. Well, he got released. He's gone now. He got waived. If you had to bet with BetOnline if Houston makes the team, would you bet yes or no? I actually, this sounds crazy, I would bet no, even though he's been running with the ones. Like if I had to go 5 wide receivers, I'm going to assume Gallup is on the physically unable to perform list. I would go CeeDee, Tolbert, Noah Brown, Kevontae Turpin, Simi Fehoko. And maybe if Houston can play special teams, he could make it over Vasher as the 6th guy. But either way, one of those guys is in trouble once Michael Gallup is ready to come back. Jeff, how did your volleyball game go? Which one? Sunday, played a lot of volleyball. Played well. But that's just practice. Tonight is playoffs in the Tuesday Night League. We're the number 1 seed in the rec. So we're going to move up to intermediate next season. But we got to finish this thing off with a good run through the postseason. And I probably seem rejuvenated, Jonathan, who just said that, because Tuesday is therapy day. And so about an hour ago is when I ended my therapy session. My therapist is badass. Davey, Jeff, did you just play an ad, you son of a bitch? I did, just to see how it worked. I didn't know I could do that while I was live. That's great. Don't you guys want me to be able to pay the mortgage? For crying out loud? Noah's fun to root for, but this experience has to be over after this year, right? That roster spot has been his for a while. I think Noah Brown's different this year. Noah Brown is like when Garrett was here and up until last year, Noah Brown was like 230 pounds. It was weird. Like they wanted his primary job to be, can you block? Like they had a run blocking wide receiver. This year, I bet he's down 10, 15 pounds. And he's moving better than I've ever seen him move. And that dude is making plays. Down the field, all over, catching everything. And yes, please smash the like button for the algorithm. Cowboy fans out there, there's content in here that they need. Not really, but they might enjoy watching whatever the hell I'm talking about right now. Where's Dan Bailey? Dan Bailey's broken. What if your therapist questioned Dak's elite status? I'd be fine with that. But if he said he wasn't a good quarterback, I'd find a new therapist. YouTube premium greater than sign. Missed the ad. Congrats, Jimmy. I think when that happens, I get like a penny. I get a little something out of that. Yo, Jeff from The Real D-Lo. Great content. Well, I'm out of content. Now I'm just sitting here staring, seeing what you guys want to do. Hi, Jeff. Happy to catch you live. Hope you're doing better since you came back home. Not really, but I'm doing great today because today was therapy. And I got to tell you the truth. I think we're on the cusp of a breakthrough in therapy. I had a recent happening that triggered off a thing that was a realization that I've had throughout my life of something that's been something throughout my life. And so now when you get to therapy and you know a major hurdle, a major issue that you have to attack, and you're doing that, then it just like lives way up here pretty constantly. But it also means that you're probably on the verge of kicking that door down, I hope. So the last, 6 weeks have been big time struggle bus. Lots of crying, things like that. But we're working on it. Have you seen anything from Aaron Shampklin? I have not. I regret to inform you that I have not. I think I saw him out there when, Rico was out and somebody else was out, but no, I never really noticed anything. You still dipping? No, I am 40 some odd days dip free. Yes, Brandon. Garibay has been cut. Brett Maher has been signed. We're going to have Jeffrey time on the Eagle today. 4:15. I will have my Cowboy call in on 97.1 The Eagle with the Ben and Skin Show. Rex Morgan, holy crap, sounds like I need therapy. I think everyone needs therapy. Well, maybe not even needs, but I think everybody could benefit from therapy. I think it's very smart. I think it's very good. I need it because there's stuff that I need help with. But I think everybody could benefit from therapy. It's good to figure out who you are and why, and the things that are challenges and why, and what you can do about it. It's just a good idea. Not sure if it helps, but we are all here for you and we support you. Love you, man. Yes, that does help, actually. I love how much support I get from people who watch and people who send messages of support. It does mean a lot. Because no matter who you are or how many followers you have or whatever, when you're struggling, a lot of times it feels like you're isolated and alone, even though you're really not. And I have lots of really good friends that I can reach out to, that I can talk to about stuff, that are always there for me when I need them. Like recently, shout out to David, shout out to Amanda, shout out to Kelsey, shout out to my therapist, shout out to Rodney, shout out to Sabrina, a lot of different people. Tarvis in the super chat, just because mental health awareness. Hell yeah, bro. Thank you. I need to check my health insurance and see if they cover therapy. It can be expensive. Yes, unfortunately, I do have health insurance, but the therapist that I go to that I found that works for me, and this is because I'm fortunate, he does not accept insurance, and I can afford it, which is great. I'm blessed, right? But if you do have coverage, what you want to do is you want to go to psychologytoday.com, psychologytoday.com. And on there, you can sort by the sort of insurance that you do have, and it'll only show you therapists that accept that insurance. And then you can sort by what do you need help with, PTSD, bipolar, depression, anxiety, whatever. Happy for you with the habit kicking. Thank you. Who are the wide receivers best suited for the practice squad? Probably Dennis Houston and either maybe Dontario. How many do they keep? Dontario Drummond, Dennis Houston, Brandon Smith would probably be the practice squad options there. Did you catch Pokemon in California? I did. Oh, and somebody keeps asking about Boss Man. Kelvin Joseph, through my eyes at camp, struggling. Like, giving up plays, a lot of grabbing and coverage, which was a thing of his in college, but he also had so much good tape of covering really good players. Didn't have a great camp for the 9 or 10 days that I was out there. And if one of the top 3 corners goes down, I don't feel great about it. I think Nashawn Wright's probably had a better camp than Joseph, but I'm still terrified of 6'4" corners and changing direction. Maybe Deron Bland could get in there and do something. Maybe. Dennis Houston making the team. Come on. He might. But I think if you're looking for the guys who are consistently showing up and making plays, and in the case of like Simi, he was also a draft pick. Like CeeDee's a gimme, Tolbert's a gimme, Brown's a gimme. After that, because Gallup's hurt, Washington's hurt, 4 and 5, like one of the guys who's going to make the team may not be here yet. They may still add people. But behind Noah Brown is the third guy. Turpin, because he's the returner right now, I think he's going to make it. And I think Simi is the 5th. If they keep 6, then Houston's got a shot at that. So does Vasher and whoever else. But we'll see. Do you think Boss Man's off-the-field issues are affecting his confidence in camp? I think anybody who has anything going on in real life, sure, it can affect you in a lot of ways. Like I think in my case, I don't know, work kind of takes my mind off everything else and you can kind of lock in. But I think when you have something that big happen in your life, sure, that's going to affect you probably in every way. Darren Sharp, the hardest hitting safety in the league. That is a great video. Greg Jennings, look it up. Should we still sign Fuller and OBJ? Yes. Yeah. Fuller gives you depth so you don't have to rely on, what you have to rely on right now to start the season. And he could get hurt. And then Odell, if he's ready in week 7 or 8, you're in a division that's certainly winnable. Having Odell Beckham when it comes time to go to the postseason sounds like a good plan to me. Jeff, would you sign J.C. Treader to replace be oddish. And would you trade a first or second round pick for Tyler Lockett? Lockett, probably not, just because the Cowboys are about to spend tons of money on CeeDee Lamb. They're already spending money on Michael Gallup. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind investing in the passing game. If they did it, I'd say, okay, that works. But it's probably a lot for a guy that you're already going to have to pay big money. Y'all got to relax. There hasn't been any preseason games yet. Everything will play out. That's true. I enjoy making the content, but like trying to predict which receivers are going to make it before we see what happens in preseason games is a fool's errand, because otherwise, I already forgot their names again. Lance Lenore and I said his name earlier. Lance Lenore and John Vay Johnson would be killing it in the league. But the games matter. The games matter. Any truth to Kadarius Toney rumors? He's a handful, both on the field and off. I'd take him because he's a baller, but he's a handful. What game will Tyron Smith go down, and we have to swing Tyler Smith to left tackle and McGovern to left guard? I hope they don't have to do that. Tyler Smith, if he's going to play left guard, he needs to play left guard. He needs to play left guard. You need to find a swing tackle. There's guys available. There was something else. Oh, and like Tyron Smith last year, it wasn't his back or his neck, the thing that everybody's worried about. He just got, who was it? It was Connor Williams got bullied and he stepped on a foot. Like, that was just bad luck. What if he's actually healthy? Nick, you were against drafting a kicker before the draft. Have you changed your mind? I have not. Now, they need to find a kicker because, again, go look at, here, I'll look this up real quick. NFL kicking stats. Because it's Justin Tucker and it's everyone else. So, here we go. Last year, kicking. I just want field goal percentage made. Pretty much the whole league exists in an area. I mean, I guess there is a difference. Like 83% for Zerline. I'd rather it be 88%. You have to get to 89% to get in the top 10 last year. Gosh, if it's going to be like right now with what you've had in camp, you're making 70-something% of the kicks with Liram, which would be almost dead last in the league. So, yeah, I guess if they can't find a dude that's going to make at least 85% of his kicks, then, yeah, I changed my mind. You should have drafted a guy. Because that's pretty ridiculous. Let me go back a year because I don't feel like it's usually like that. Yeah, most of the league exists in a world where they make 86-ish% of their kicks. Guys will have an up year and a down year, and it's just kickers are weird. There's Justin Tucker, and then there's everyone else. It's a real wild thing. Yeah, Zerline just couldn't make extra points. Dorrance Armstrong have any trade value for wide receiver? Maybe. Did you plan to do something with Sky and Botch while they're down there? I need to see how long they're down there. I haven't talked to either one of them since they've been down there. But I would like to, or I could do something when they come back and we can compare notes. If LVE plays great this year, could you see the Cowboys long-terming him? I could, but I think their plan would be for Jabril Cox to step up and be that guy for cheaper. Hellman does not snore. No, at least not that I'm aware of. They would rather always have a guy on the cheap than they would a guy on the expensive. That is the Cowboy way. They did just sign Brett Maher, Kenny. Yes, they did. Brett Maher is now on the team, competing with Liram, whose last name I know, Liram Hairulahu, of course, as everybody knows. Hairulahu. All right, I think I'm good for the day. I think we got it handled, boys. Oh, yeah, give me our Darius Washington. All right, thanks, guys. It was good to see you. I'm going to go do some stuff. I don't know what, but I'm going to go do some stuff. Have a great day. Go Cowboys. Remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through, so be cool to everyone. I love you. Bye. Oh, wait, Cavanaugh. Let me turn that up a little bit. Whoop.